I want to talk to you about banks that do not use the ChexSystems this year, okay? So let's talk about the banks. First, we have Chase. So Chase actually has an account called Chase Secure Banking. So if you want to have an account from a traditional bank that doesn't use the ChexSystems, I want you to really think about Chase Secure Banking. This is actually best suited for people who have had spending issues in the past or who are new to checking entirely. It doesn't offer overdraft protection, paper checks, or wire transfers. And while the $4.95 monthly fee cannot be waived, there is usually a sign-up bonus, which is really a nice touch. And again, you are getting a bank from Chase. So Chase, it's really a biggie, okay? So Chase Secure Banking is really an alternative style checking account that aims to make it easier for certain customers to actually manage their money by stripping out features that could enable overspending, like overdraft protection and paper checks. The cool thing is that this account is designed to help people build or rebuild their banking relationship and manage their spending. So that's really fantastic. And account features actually include credit monitoring. You have online bill pay tools, and you also have an option to have early direct deposit. Next, you have a Navy Fed credit union. So if you're looking for banks that do not use ChexSystems, I want you to think about Navy Fed. And so Navy Fed actually, but the thing with Navy Fed is that this is a credit union. So you got to be a member to qualify for all the accounts. And memberships actually revolves around military affiliation. So you got to be affiliated with the military, either biologically through a family relationships, or professionally, or through the geography. So this is important. So if you are an eligible U.S. service member or veteran, an account with a Navy Fed credit union may be an option. And this credit union may view a ChexSystems or do a soft credit pool when you apply for a checking or a savings account. But it is possible that you will still be approved for an account as long as you don't have past issues with the Navy Fed itself. Okay, if you don't have past issues with Navy Fed specifically, you are good to go. And Navy Fed actually offers several checking accounts, including a free active duty checking, free easy checking, free everyday checking, flagship checking, and more. And many of its accounts offer perks like ATM fee rebates, no minimum balance requirements, and no monthly service fees. And Navy Fed is actually the top credit union in the nation, if not the first. It's actually the first. The second being PenFed. So fantastic. If you are looking for banks that do not use ChexSystems this year, I want you to think about VerBank. And VerBank has an account that's aptly named VerBank account. And VerBank is an online-only bank that offers direct deposit accounts. I mean, not direct deposit, that offers deposit accounts and credit building tools for its customers. And if you are concerned about a negative record in ChexSystems, its VerBank account doesn't require a credit check or a ChexSystems screening. And this account has perks like debit card access, an extensive ATM network, no minimum deposit requirements, no overdraft fees, and no monthly fees too. So there is no minimum opening deposit, no balance requirements, no monthly maintenance fees. So that's really fantastic. VerBank. Next, you have the One United Bank. So through One United Bank, you have an account called One United Bank U2 e-checking account. This is a bank that doesn't use a ChexSystem, okay? ChexSystems. So if you have had past issues with a checking or a savings account, the One United Bank U2 e-checking account may be worth considering this year. And the cool thing about this account is that it offers perks like a large network of free ATMs, mobile check deposits, and also an automatic savings feature that lets you round up your purchases to add to your account balance. So it's one of those things where if you care about branches, brick and mortar branches, this could be a little problematic. But if you don't care about that, then you can really have a banking relationship online and no problem. But with this One United Bank, you have a $12 monthly maintenance fee. So, and this applies across the board. So this could be a little discouraging for certain customers. And the minimum opening deposit is $25. There's no minimum balance requirements, but the fee stays. I mean, the monthly maintenance fee of $12 stays there. If you're looking for banks that do not use ChexSystems this year, I want you to think about US Bank. And US Bank has an account called US Bank Safe Debit Account, and this is actually an account that doesn't use the ChexSystems. So US Bank offers its Safe Debit Account, which is really an alternative to a traditional checking account for those who have struggled with banking issues in the past. Account holders get free credit score access, a debit card with zero liability fraud protection, and 24/7 customer support. So that's really good, because if you think about it, when you look at banks that don't use the ChexSystems, having this level of protection already is really good. A monthly maintenance fee of $4.95 applies and cannot be waived. But hey, listen, it's just a lot better than the $12 that one United Bank charges. Okay, so the minimum opening deposit for this account, you have $25. Minimum balance requirements, none, but the monthly service fee of $4.95 actually applies. Another bank that doesn't use ChexSystems this year is Bank of America. And when you go to Bank of America, I want you to really ask for an account called Bank of America Safe Balance Account. So Bank of America Safe Balance Account. That's actually the account that never actually checks ChexSystems. So the cool thing about this account is that it gives you a lot of flexibility. Okay, the Bank of America Safe Balance Account could also be a decent choice if you've had past banking issues, especially if those issues have been, let's say, recurrent over a long period of time. So this account is designed to help you manage your spending and comes with debit card access. Monthly service fees apply, though it is possible to get those fees waived if you are a student under 25, you are under 18, or you enroll in preferred rewards. So another way to actually bypass all those fees is to actually enroll in preferred rewards. Now, preferred rewards actually come with, let's say, more monetary benefits, but also responsibilities. Okay, so minimum opening deposit $25, minimum balance requirements there's none, and the monthly maintenance fees that you need to think about $4.95. But again, this can be waived actually for qualified customers. If you're looking for banks that don't use a ChexSystems this year, I want you to think about Wells Fargo. And when you go to Wells Fargo, I want you to ask for an account called Wells Fargo Clear Access Banking Account. So Clear Access Banking Accounts. And so Wells Fargo, if you have a negative record in ChexSystems, the Wells Fargo Clear Access Banking Account may be another option for you. You'll need to make a $25 initial deposit to open an account, but there is no minimum balance requirement after that. Customers also get debit card access with 24/7 fraud protection on debit card purchases, so that's really good. A $5 monthly maintenance fee applies, though it's possible to waive that fee if you are under 25 or you link a qualifying student debit card to your account. Okay, so minimum opening deposit here is $25. There is no minimum balance requirement, and so the monthly maintenance fee can be waived, but it's usually $5. Can be waived for qualified customers, so that's really good. You also have another institution. You have and that's actually CapitalOne. So CapitalOne has an account called the CapitalOne 360 checking account. CapitalOne 360 checking account. That's the account that doesn't check ChexSystems this year. So when you think about CapitalOne, think about stability, think about reputation, think about affordability too, because CapitalOne is another large bank offering an account for individuals with past banking issues. It's a 360 checking account, and account holders get access to a huge free ATM network, debit cards, early direct deposit, and fraud protection. So that's really good, especially from a scalability point of view. And unlike competing accounts at major banks, CapitalOne doesn't have minimum deposit requirements or charge a monthly maintenance fee for its 360 checking account. So the minimum opening deposit here is there's none actually. There's no minimum balance requirement. So again, from a flexibility point of view, that's really good. And also there is no monthly maintenance fees. I mean, there is no monthly maintenance fee to really think about or to even worry about. So that's really good. If you're thinking about the banks that do not use ChexSystems this year, I want you to think about Chime. And when you go to Chime, I want you to really ask for an account called the Chime checking account. And so Chime is a financial technology company offering offering deposit accounts, including the Chime checking account, which requires no ChexSystems or credit checks. By the way, when I mean by financial technology, that's fintech. Okay, Chime is a fintech company. So account holders get access to several perks, including no monthly fees. So if you are an account holder, if you have a Chime checking account, you have access to several perks. There are no monthly fees. You have early direct deposit, no minimum initial deposit, no minimum balance fees, and no overdraft fees. So that's really good. In addition, you can use your debit card to take out money at over 60,000 fee-free ATMs as a Chime customer. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. Okay, so no minimum opening deposits, no minimum balance requirements, and you do have a monthly you have a no monthly maintenance fees. And the last bank that doesn't use the ChexSystems this year is FNSB. Okay, so the first national bank of I totally forgot. So yeah, FNSB actually is the Fort Steele National Bank. Okay, you do not have here a national bank. You do have a Midwestern U.S. bank offering direct deposit for military members and civilians. And one of those accounts, it's a basic checking account, requires no credit check. So that's really good in terms of flexibility. So even if you have negative marks in your banking history, this account could still be an option for you. It offers benefits like unlimited check writing, the ability to earn interest on balances over $500, and optional savings roundups. Okay, so minimum opening deposit, you have $5. Minimum balance requirements, none. But a monthly maintenance fee can go all the way to $6.50. So something to really think about, especially if you want to really build a long-standing relationship with FSNB, Fort Steele National Bank. So I just shared with you banks that do not use ChexSystems this year. What's the approach here? The thing is that when you think about ChexSystems, I want you to really contextualize the conversation, because ChexSystems is a reporting agency that tracks consumers' deposit and debit history. So if you happen to have, let's say, negative marks like bounce checks or unpaid fees, you may have difficulty opening an account. Some banks, such as CapitalOne, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, do not use ChexSystems for certain accounts. So this is important to think about that. So past banking mistakes can make it challenging actually to open a new deposit account with some banks and credit unions. That's because many financial institutions use ChexSystems, which is a service that tracks consumers' banking habits, including previous issues. Okay, so if you have, let's say, overdrafted or neglected to pay fees on an old bank account, that info will likely be in your ChexSystems report, and you could be denied a new account. And fortunately, not all banks rely on ChexSystems to screen prospective account holders, though it can be tricky to tell which ones. Okay, so I just shared with you the 10 bank accounts that do not use ChexSystems. But one thing for sure is that you have to really understand why banks use ChexSystems in the first place. ChexSystems really provides a lot of intel. If you have a ChexSystems report, this could include information like excessive overdraft fees, involuntary account closures, bounce checks, unpaid monthly maintenance fees, or recent account openings and closures. So that's really that's really the amount of detail you can have in a ChexSystems sort of report. Okay, so if your banking history includes any of the above, what I just told you a little earlier, basically it's possible a bank may deem you a high risk customer and deny you a new account. So in addition to a ChexSystems report, you may also have a ChexSystems score ranging from 100 to 899. A high score means you have a lower risk, while a lower score indicates a higher risk. So the bottom line here is what? If you have past banking problems on your ChexSystems report, some banks might not let you open a new savings or checking accounts, but fortunately, you always can go back to those online banks. They will help you out. That's really what it is, okay? the ability to get things done through those online banks. So when you think about banks that do not use a ChexSystem, remember that ChexSystems is trying to really streamline the process when it comes to opening a new bank account. Now, how do you remove yourself from ChexSystem? So while you probably cannot remove yourself from ChexSystem entirely, you can eliminate certain negative items such as unpaid fees from your ChexSystem report by settling the payments and requesting the bank or collections agency remove that info. You can also provide proof to ChexSystems that the debt has been resolved on your own. Now, items typically stay on your ChexSystem report for 5 years. So 5 years, that's really the interval that you have to really account for if you are in ChexSystem for any reason. Now, a lot of major banks use ChexSystems, but there are some banks also that do not use ChexSystems. Okay, I'll give you a few of them now. Now, can you get a checking account if you are on ChexSystem? Yes, it is possible to get a checking account even if you are on ChexSystem, though it might be more difficult, or you might get an account that doesn't have the best terms and conditions in the industry. Okay, this is a bummer, but it is what it is. You may need to find non-ChexSystem banks or opt for a second chance or opportunity checking account or a prepaid debit card. Okay, now can you actually check to see if you are on ChexSystem? Yes, you can request a free consumer disclosure report from ChexSystem once a year if you are older than 18. And this information could help you understand what's included in your banking history report and provide actually an insight into why you may have been denied actually a bank account in the first place. Okay, it's one of those things where you never lose anything from asking. Okay? It's all about asking. It's all about taking the steps to really see what's actually in your file. And if there's a problem, you can actually fix it right off the bat. And also, what I want to say here is that if you have a ChexSystems entry, there are actually steps you can take yourself. Besides paying off whatever you owe the bank, there are steps you need to take right now to actually prevent actually issues from happening in the future again. Okay, from you going back to a ChexSystem in the first place. And one thing is to actually have an account that allows you to have overdraft protection. Overdraft protection, meaning that if there's anything, if you're not going to bounce checks, you are able to know exactly how much you can qualify for, and that's really good from a flexibility point of view. Okay, that's important. So here's a quote I hear. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about banks that do not use ChexSystems. I give you those banks. I give you the approach and now the quota. In terms of those banks, I spoke about Chase, Navy Fed, Vero, One United Bank, U.S. Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, CapitalOne, Chime, and FNSB. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.